Me, I'm doing good because my wife just gave birth and that song just doubled the job. Oh my God! Congratulations! 26th of September. Will I remember this birthday? Congratulations to you, Chief Churchill, on the safe delivery of your wife. This is says, I'm actually a big fan of Knock You Down. In fact, it happens to be my ringtone. If this happens again, I find a wife. Please, by all means, go ahead and find a wife. And invite me to the wedding. I'll sure be there. Yes, all things being equal, that is. So yeah, as I was saying, experts will say alternative sources of income. In our local balance, it is doubling your hustle and doing legitimate stuff to be able to meet up. So if your 100K salary could comfortably do certain things for you now, maybe, just maybe, you should be projecting other streams of income that will get your income stream to about 500K or thereabouts. It's okay to have more than enough, even though the rich people will never agree that they have more than enough, because Dangote still they find money. This is according to Burna Boy. Why be? You understand? I would also look for money. But there is that point you get to and you feel like, if I take 500,000 naira from my account, I will not shake. It will not do me. I will not have chest pain. I will do it and I will be fine doing it, right? Good. I guess that's the most a lot of us can do when we live in an expensive state or region, or maybe relocate to a less expensive state. Financial experts advise that living in an expensive city has been the main way for millions to get ahead for decades. After all, most of the high-paying jobs are all in expensive cities. There was once upon a time, River States, people were coming down here. People will finish their youth service and they want to serve in Port Harcourt. Why? Oil money. The multinationals, the oil companies, they were here. You know, oil was found in this region first. So there is oil money here. If you finish serving, you come here, or you try to mobilize or find a way to serve here so that once you're done here, you get probably a retainership. And the standard of living was good. You pay your house rent, probably buy a nice car, get a few things. You probably have a side business you do added to your mainstream of income. Now, if you were not one who was to work here, you do business here, and chances are that your business will thrive. Which is why they are expensive in the first place, because people who earn well will patronize you. So you know that every month end, by the time the oil company workers, the big boys, the people who work offshore and offshore, as the case may be, the oil servicing firms and all of that, they will come and patronize you. So they receive their pay, they're coming to shop at your boutique, they're coming to buy groceries from you, they're coming to buy household equipment from you, from electronics. They're probably coming to buy cars from you, right? I used to live in town area. There was a very popular automobile place where people sell cars and people buy cars there. I remember growing up as a child, when I closed from school, I would pass by the place and I would see people buying cars. And I'll just be looking at the different brands of vehicles then at the time. We had Volvo, we have Peugeot, we had Mitsubishi, we had the Mercedes 504 at the time. We had some brand of vehicles. There were some that were rare brands, but people will still buy because maybe standard of living at the time was a lot better. But is it indeed true with some expensive states in Nigeria? What are the possibilities of even getting these high-paying jobs? Nigeria's economic climate is ever evolving, with inflation rates playing a critical role in determining the cost of living across the country. I mean, think about it. Overall, while both headline and food inflation showed some short-term easing in August, the year-on-year data indicates that inflationary pressures, particularly driven by food prices, remain a significant challenge for the Nigerian economy. And these pressures in Nigeria varied significantly across states, with food inflation serving as a major driver of overall inflation in most cases. Overall, while some states show a decrease in inflation rates, the high cost of food and other goods continues to pose a significant challenge for consumers across Nigeria. The reason why your landlord will now tell you that your rent, which used to be 300,000, is now 450K. The place I go to, the salon I use, one of these days, the lady was lamenting that, she has to increase price of washing and setting and drying hair or ordinary weaving now because she cannot meet up. I mean, still in this economy, people still have the mind to increase rents for their tenants. And then she says her landlord just increased her shop rent, which used to be 200,000 naira to 350K. How in the world's name is she supposed to meet up? Now let's look at some of these states. Top on the list is Abia State. Inflation rate starts at 34.41%. There's Oyo, 34.44%. There's Lagos, of course. Lagos, shisha expensive on a normal day. 34.76%. Gombe, 35.23%. Niger, 35.41%. Yobe, surprisingly, 35.43%. What about Sokoto? 35.89%. There's Jigawa, 37%. Kebbi, 37%. Bauchi, 46%. And all of these states are at the other end. We usually would get cheaper food from that part of the country, right? At least that's how it used to be. So if you have someone traveling to the north, you could tell them, help me buy yams, help me buy this, and help me buy that. And they bring it to you. So the people that trade here in food usually would go there to buy. I'm just wondering, now that things are high over there, and they have now been listed as the most expensive states to live in Nigeria, wetin man go do? I'm asking two questions, really. On a practical level, all right, after thinking things through and through, would you consider moving to a less expensive state to survive the current economic situation? Worst case scenario, you have your wife, you have your children, or you are alone, and it is a decision that you have to make. Would you consider it? That's number one. Number two, some people assume that high-paying jobs, you get a high-paying job. Maybe if I get a job that pays more than Nigeria Info pays me, I may leave, right? And who is to say that some people are not already thinking about it? Who is to say that some people are not thinking about relocating? Now, relocating does not have to be outside Nigeria. But when you think of that relocation idea, what is the ease, or how easy is it to get high-paying jobs in an expensive state? A state where these high-paying jobs are supposed to make life better. How easy do these jobs come by? Let's talk. 0817-923-0002. Again, 0817-923-0002. I take that again, 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. We have the WhatsApp and Telegram number for your WhatsApp and Telegram messages. It is 0809-030-6416. Again, 0809-030-6416. On X, we're at Nigeria Info PH, and our Facebook page remains Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. So go there, watch us live, but most importantly, be a part of a conversation by sending in your messages or calling. Now, if you're unable to get through to us via the phone lines for any reason, do well to send a message, and I would gladly read your messages. It's still the sunny side, right here on your number one station for talk, 92.3 Nigeria Info FM. I'm Denise Dennis Wallow, and the conversation is on surviving living in an expensive state.
It's natural to have different ideologies. We tend to see things from different perspectives. So, share your views on the sunny side as we make room for philosophical ethical, and thought-provoking discussions. The Sunny Side, 12 noon to 3 p.m., Monday to Friday, on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to the Sunny Side again. I see a lot of dropped calls. I don't know what's really happening. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp and Telegram numbers remain 0809-0306-416. Nigeria Info, good afternoon to you and welcome. Daniel, welcome.
Good afternoon. Oh, yes. Chinke Daniel Mogeto Track.
You're welcome.
Because I don't know the Yasik, how they come about that Abia, my own Abia state, is the most worst. Please.
Top 10 most expensive states to live in Nigeria.
I disagree with them.
This is according to the National Bureau of Statistics, so...
I will not agree with them.
Tell me why.
Yes, because, let me tell you, my sister, there are rooms of 3,000 naira now within Aba. Is there any room that you can pay 3,000 naira in Port Harcourt and East Environment? I don't know how they come about that statistic.
Okay, let's focus on food because this statistics
food.
Yes.
Even on food, my sisters, I am talking to you now. People use 3,000 naira to make small pot of soup in Aba.
Are you serious?
Tell me your own. Tell me your own in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
So I don't know how they come about that statistic.
How much meat will make that 3,000 naira pot of soup? How much meat?
Well, even if not meat, little a small ice fish of 1,005, you can buy it in Aba. I don't know if you can buy it in Port Harcourt.
Yeah, we can buy 1,000 naira fish in Port Harcourt.
Then it simply means you can make a soup of 3,000 or thereabouts in Port Harcourt. But let me go straight to my point.
Yeah.
I don't believe, no matter how they come about that, they say, Aba can never be higher than Port Harcourt.
All right, now let's try not to focus on this statistics now because I see that it's going to trigger a lot of persons. People may want to call to defend, but let's focus on the question. Would you consider relocating?
Those are governing us that things are very hard indeed.
Okay, so you agree things are hard. Okay, we all agree things are hard. But let's say peradventure you discover that there is somewhere that I think it was on Twitter I saw something about being offered a job of 200 and something K in Lagos versus being offered a job of 500 and something K in Abuja. Which would you go for? A lot of persons chose Lagos as opposed to Abuja. And the argument was this. By the time you pay rent in Abuja, food is cheaper. But you see that money, by the time you think of getting a very decent apartment and you pay rent, what's the point? Let me just stay in this Lagos. There are so many factors people consider. And that's why sometimes even when people recruit, they try to streamline the location of the possible applicants. And this is to tell you that if you are coming to find this job because you want to leave your current location and you think this job would be the solution to all your financial problems, you may have to think again. But if you are in this location already and you are applying to get this job, we are offering XYZ amount, consider. So before you take that step to drop a resignation letter in maybe Port Harcourt or Abia or wherever you are, to go for a job in Lagos that seems to be paying more, you may consider the fact that you have to source for accommodation because not many organizations will, give you accommodation regardless of where you're coming from. And even though they do, it will only be on a temporary basis. But then again, the focus is on surviving the current economy, and people are willing to do a lot of things. What a lot of things include relocation. Johnson from Omoma, welcome to the sunny side.
Yeah, I prefer to be in a state that I'll be comfortable.
Comfortable, okay.
What I mean by comfortability is that if I'm being paid 500,000 in Abuja, and maybe the house rent is higher, and I'm paid 250,000 in Lagos, house rent is cheaper. I consider comfortability, because if I should stay in Lagos and there are towns that disturbs my life, maybe if I go to get a land, I'll see towns disturbing me, police here and there. I prefer to stay in Abuja, where I earn higher and pay higher also in my expenditures. So comfortability matters in everything you do in life. Because even if you give me 1 million and I'm not comfortable staying there, I will stay. If you give me 1 naira and I'm not comfortable staying there, I won't stay. Thank you so much.
So for you, comfort is key.
Best. Because I only have one life to live, and that is just what I need to take care of.
Comfort is key to you. All right, thank you. Zion from Jerry, how are you doing today, Zion?
Yeah, good afternoon, this way.
Good afternoon.
No matter what, here night the weather won't play code. We'll go nowhere.
Oh God. I think that the what's it called now? We have to get a book for some of the language or some of the words or some of the what's it called now we use here in River State, because some of them sound weird. But go ahead.
But that's just it this way. I've tried on several occasions that I can relocate out of Port Harcourt or the Niger Delta region. I found that I cannot. I can't just do it. The lifestyle, the way we live, the way we do things, the way we talk, our settings, our doings, you can't get it anywhere. You just talked about Abuja and accommodation stuff. My brother lives in Abuja, and the day I went to visit him and he told me how much he's paying for that apartment, I feel like chasing him out of Abuja with a mortar pistol. This house is so tiny. Because it's listening to Guguma, it's eyebrow and stuff like that. Really? Normal. Port Harcourt is the best place. My fish are there. My provincals are there. I can easily access Ayasa without much. For instance, I live in Abuja, I want to come to Port Harcourt, imagine 30, 40K.
That's if you're going by road.
By road, oh, yes, so what about by flight? With your family? Nah, we did here, we did the common area.
Okay. This one reads, Didi, that list you read, I saw it on Facebook. The list has to do with states with the highest unemployment level, not the most expensive state. My darling, I don't know what you saw. What I have here from the National Bureau of Statistics. And by the way, just so you know, there are places to get credible information. And I would have you know that social media, whatever you see on social media, is subject to verification. Am I making sense? It is subject to verification. A lot of people see things and they share. And they share. There are places where you can get verified information. And it's not Facebook. It's not X. Neither is it Instagram. So for those of you who make arguments based on what you see on social media without backing it up with something credible, like from some of the national dailies and from the Statistics Hub and all of that, you may be running a risk of disseminating misinformation. I thought I'd let you know. Yekati from Romomasi, welcome to the sunny side. Talk to me.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. To my own understanding, things are very hard and cost right now. Like, I remember last 3-4 months or 5 months I traveled to this place. I shout. This one is even more than Port Harcourt. So, but there's some things I think like the price have more quality than one I get there. So I decided to also hold my hand that it's okay, since it's quality. But in the right sense of things, to me, things are very cost. The high price of things now is funding so many things down, both some business. So something need to be done.
I asked two direct questions.
I'm hearing.
And the two direct questions are, would you consider moving to a less expensive state to survive the current economic situation?
For me, that's not the best idea. You don't move anywhere. Stay where you are for the meantime until things works out. Because the place you're going to, for me, it will be worse. Because it's all over. It's not just a place. All over Nigeria. So where are you going? Except there's no crime in your village. You travel to your village, go and see how you can sort yourself out. But for me, it's not a better idea to try to live where you go for now.
All right, thank you.
And pray to God to help us understand me when something happened in Aso Rock, Nigeria as a whole, because something to be done for good. Really.
All right, thank you. Nathaniel from Bonny Island, I am so sorry we lost that call with you. You may have to call us back. Just a few seconds, please. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809-0306-416. Would you consider moving to a less expensive state to survive the current economic situation? And how easy is it to get high-paying jobs in an expensive state? That is the question. I mean, we're looking for, what's it called now? Survival measures. Some of them may be temporary, others may be long-lasting, but we must survive regardless. And as from Woji says, I don't think those states are expensive states. I think it's man-made expensive state. Maybe except Lagos and Abuja, the rest are man-made. Like in your story, somebody increased shop rent from 200k to 350k. That's man-made. People bring banana, for example, from Delta or Cross River. Normally, it is supposed to be sold for 500 naira. Because they have this mentality that it is Port Harcourt or Lagos, they sell it for 7k. Same with other things. For me, it's man-made expensive state because I don't understand why 2-bedroom in Kano is 150k and self-contained in Port Harcourt is 250k. It is man-made, auntie. Agreed. Sometimes the inflation we experience is man-made. I will explain after this conversation with this caller. Nigeria Info. Sorry, we lost the call. My house rent got increased. That was last year was election year, right? From what I used to pay before to 50,000 naira extra around the election period. And well, the explanation given was that people have to balance up. If I am depending on this house rent to fund my lifestyle or my living, and I go to the market and I see the high cost of things, chances are that whatever I used to collect from my tenants may not suffice anymore. So there has to be some form of increment. And this is not to say that these tenants are not experiencing this same inflation and all of that. It only means that maybe, just maybe, they should push for higher salary. Or, like the salon, she should push for higher prices. So sometimes it's a ripple effect. Somebody is feeling this somewhere, and as a means of balancing things up, they need to increase whatever it is they are doing, the prices and all of that. If not, they will run at a loss. So if you classify that as man-made, it makes sense. But it is not all solely on them. It's not because they just woke up. Of course, I know that there are some landlords that just wake up from sleep and they say, I want to have company meeting with all of you. Yes, we know of those landlords. But for some landlords that have increased rent recently, it is solely based on the prevailing circumstances. What are the prices of things? How do I meet up? Some landlords are retired. That is their only source of income. Nigeria Info, good afternoon to you and welcome.
Yes, Constance, good afternoon.
The name is Denise, not Constance. You're welcome.
Okay. Yes, Madam Patrick.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Yes, on the matter on ground, you don't need to go to anywhere. I must remember where I am, no matter how hard the situation is. What I will do is to create an initiative, something that can bring money, and you also reduce the way you spend money so that you also manage the country so that it stays balanced. So if you say you want to go to other place, there's something that allows you to move away from here and also make you there. So manage yourself, make an initiative, create something that will add money so that your income will also increase. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm not sure some of us listened. Never did I say that Abia is the most expensive state in Nigeria. I said list, top on the list, top 10. And it has it as Bauchi. Abia is just number 10. So if we're going from 10 downwards or 10 upwards, Abia is still on the list. I thought to correct that impression because one of the persons sending messages sent that in. This message reads, Didi, happy old school Thursday. I concur with what you said about Abuja. Didito, when I came to Abuja to serve those years back, accommodation in Gaki, Gwarimpa, even Kuba and all, a one-bedroom room is over 800k. Now, where I stay now is away from the Abuja town and some medium-income individual live, like Mape, Maramaba, Nyanya. I will consider moving to a less expensive state, but the law for Abuja is just the security is tight. Didito, food is sort of cheap, but house rent, choke. Chigozie. Okay. Thank you for being a part of this conversation. Trending stories comes up.
We are Nigeria Info. Nigeria, I'm listening.